Come in. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Shazia Baskerville. Have a seat.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name?
Ashley Williams.
Nice to meet you, Ashley. What can I do for you today?
I am a 17-year-old high school student, and I have been experiencing some sadness, uncontrollable sadness, and anger, and being behind on schoolwork, and just not concentrating at all. I used to be an A and B student for my whole life until 2 months ago when I just started falling behind, and everybody else, my teachers and everybody else think that it might be because my parents are finally getting a divorce, and but I have known them for my whole life. They've been fighting for my whole life, so I don't think that it has anything to do with it. But I don't want to be that angry, sad person who is flunking. So I came here today to see if you can help me with some of the tough stuff.
Yes, Ashley, I surely can. So before we get started with why you're in here today, like I previously stated, I'm Shazia Baskerville and I'm your school social worker.
Okay.
So before we can get into why you're here today, there are a couple things that I have to go over with you.
Okay.
So starting with the confidentiality between you and I, which means that anything that is said in here stays between you and I'm not going to, nor am I allowed to share that information with anyone else unless you give me the permission to do so. That's the only time that I would breach your confidentiality. Or if you tell me that you're thinking about committing harm to yourself or others, then that gives me the right to breach confidentiality. Do you have any questions about the form of consent or, the form of confidentiality? You have any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Like I said, everything stays between you and I, so it would not leave this room. So if you can please sign here by the X, please, and then we can continue with our session. There you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now let's get to why you're here today. So I understand from what you just told me, you say you're 17, so that means you're in your senior year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Exciting. So it's time for college time and SATs. So you're also experiencing problems now, though, throughout your senior year. In your English class, your professor, she reached out to me and she shared with me that you are having the problems that you just shared with me in your class, and, anger, falling behind in your classes, getting angry in class, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So how long have you been feeling this way, Ashley?
I don't know. For like the past 2 months, it kind of got crazy when my parents told me that they were, separating, leading to divorce. Which means it's over for it. So I think it might have something to do with that, but I don't think it does. Just because they always been like the fighting type. They fought all the time my whole life. So I didn't think that them separating or getting divorced is a big deal. But part of it could be because I just wasn't ready for it, whatever it was coming. So yeah, the past 2 months have been the ones that kind of made me realize why I'm in this situation.
Okay, so what would you explain your situation as?
I'm just kind of like, I just kind of gave up on a lot of stuff, including my grades, which is, why my teacher had probably said something. So I kind of gave up on my grades, on everything else. So I just kind of do whatever I want now and, just not even care about it. But part of it is because, like, I'm just angry all the time. I'm falling behind. I don't get enough sleep anymore. So it's just kind of like, it's really bad, which is why I'm here again.
Okay, so I hear that you say that you're experiencing anger and sadness. Have you been, and loss of sleep as well?
Mm-hmm.
So are there any other emotions that you have been feeling besides the anger, the loss of sleep, and the sadness?
A little bit neglected because like my parents went ahead and decided on this big thing that's gonna affect me mostly, and they just kind of like decided on their own, and they just kind of was letting me know. They didn't ask how I felt about it or anything. They just told me that they were divorcing, and it's just like I didn't feel that I could do anything or say anything that could change any of the stuff that they were telling me.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you're experiencing sadness, anger, loss of sleep, neglection because your parents decided to get a divorce and they didn't come speak with you about it. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know. I mean, it's not like my parents were the closest thing ever, but it's kind of just like, we're. Oh, I mean, I just felt like they could have just done a better job than to just like spring it on me and just do whatever they wanted to do. But at this point, it doesn't matter. I don't really care, which is why I just, I just do whatever I want nowadays. So it doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm hearing that you're angry with your parents for the divorce and not speaking with you, but maybe your parents didn't want to bring you into the divorce. Divorces can be a lot for families, and especially have an effect on children. So your parents were probably looking out for your best interests, which is why they didn't come to speak with you about the divorce.
I don't even really care if they did or they had the best interest or not, but it was more of like, at this point, it's like they didn't care about my feelings, so I just don't care about theirs, and that's the thing. Like, I have to be this A student and all this and that, so which is why I gave up on my schoolwork and a lot of things in life because they didn't care about my stuff, so I don't care about their stuff.
So when you say their stuff, what are you referring to besides the divorce?
Like they want me to be this A student, go to the best college, like, the rest of the parents, like, you have to be better than this and be better than everything and everybody, but, I just, it's kind of like they're just telling me what to do and what I need to do and this and that, but they're not really asking me what I need or anything. And I'm not asking them to be my best friends, I'm just saying, like, they could do better as parents and be there for me and, care and stuff like that.
So what are some things that you would like from your parents?
To acknowledge me in a way, not just that because like that thing itself of the divorce or them noticing that I'm actually behind on my schoolwork, that I'm no longer an A student or B student, or the fact that I'm sad and angry and not having enough sleep. Like, I would like for my parents to notice, but they don't notice, so it's kind of like, so who cares, or it just seems like they don't care at all.
And how long have you been feeling like your parents haven't been acknowledging you and they've been neglecting you?
For a while now, as a child, yeah, of course, they did, like, do everything. And even now, they do everything as my parents and stuff. But, it's kind of like, at that some point, they fight so much that it's just, like, become everyday routine. It's not even, like, I don't even notice it anymore until other people point it out. And it's just like, oh, that's the regular relationship. So, they're arguing or not paying attention, any of that stuff is kind of like their normal basis type of thing. I don't think that answered your question, but yeah, it's kind of, they're just neglectful.
Well, actually, I'm sorry that you feel that your parents are neglecting you. I know that can be hard for a child to feel that way, and a student who is, about to begin another journey of her life after the graduation of high school and things like that. So you're saying that your parents they don't acknowledge you, neglecting, you've been experiencing anger and things with the divorce and everything else. So what would you, stepping out of the divorce and your emotions and everything, what do you think would be a positive that comes out of your parents no longer arguing in front of you, around you? Maybe there's not as much pressure for you at home anymore. So tell me how you would feel. How do you think that would?
Of course, the divorce is kind of like, it has its good and bad, but most of the time it's kind of like they were kind of in that place. Like, it's not like they are, in this lovey-dovey state. So they always argue all the time. They just, like, never they're not on the same page at all. So a lot of things, it's kind of like the divorce is good because they're going to be able to be happy and away from each other. But at the end of the day, it's kind of making it official that they're, not together anymore. And I have to be that person in between them to, like, be the mediator. But I'm not trying to be that person. And I just want them to be my parents. But at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing I can really say or do.